Hello, I'm Lawrence, a librarian for LA County Library. Today we'll be learning about a notable person in the field of STEAM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Charles Drew was an African American physician and medical researcher whose research in blood banks helped save many lives during World War II and beyond. Charles Richard Drew was born in 1904 in Washington, D.C. His father was a carpet layer and his mother was trained as a teacher. During his youth was more notable as a student athlete than as a scholar. It was during this time that his interest in medicine began due to his own stay in the hospital for a football-related injury. After graduating from Amherst College, Drew attended McGill University in Montreal, Canada to study medicine. His residency was at Montreal General Hospital, and his research included treating shock due to blood loss and blood transfusion. Shock is a manifestation of circulatory failure. It can be caused by a sudden lowering of blood volume due to rapid loss of blood. Blood transfusion was the best way to treat and reverse shock, but there was, as yet, no standardized way to collect and store blood for long-term use. After Drew's residency at the Montreal General Hospital, he was subsequently accepted for a specialty fellowship for surgical training at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Drew focused on researching a solution to a very challenging medical problem, which was how to bank or store blood so that it maintains its integrity and remains available for transfusions as needed. Drew set out to change all of this through his research program, which analyzed the information on blood transfusion available up to that point. He set up an experimental blood bank at New York Presbyterian to test organization and collection protocols. This resulted in standardized blood bank procedures being developed. The blood bank was a success and formed the basis for Drew's dissertation, appropriately named Banked Blood. At this time, World War II was underway in Europe. Britain was being bombed by the German Air Force and needed medical supplies, including blood for transfusion. The British and their American allies organized a relief program called Blood for Britain in order to collect blood donations in America to ship to England. Remember what we said about shock earlier? While replacing blood with more blood to treat shock might be the best solution, the logistical situation of the war provided an alternative in the form of plasma. Plasma, which is the fluid portion of blood, has several key advantages over blood as a substitute. It can survive rough handling during transport, keep longer without refrigeration, can be used with any blood type, and is less likely to transmit disease. He used the blood bank at New York Presbyterian as a template, but had it scaled up in order to collect, process, and store the enormous amounts of plasma needed for the war effort. The first batch of plasma was sent to Britain in August of 1940. And the Blood for Britain program went on to become a resounding success until its conclusion in January 1941. The program had collected 14,556 blood donations and shipped over 5,000 liters of plasma solution to Britain. Drew was hailed as the leading expert on blood procurement and processing. He was responsible for introducing the use of mobile blood collection units, later called bloodmobiles, for this program, the likes of which are commonly seen at health fairs and community events today. As a result of his work, many lives were saved and are still being saved today by Drew's blood transfusion research. Drew's accomplishments resulted in his reputation being cemented as a blood plasma pioneer and as the father of the blood bank. However successful he was, Drew still encountered racism during his work that he did his best to push back against. In November 1941, the Red Cross blood collection program that Drew was involved in, the National Blood Donor Service, initially excluded Black donors at the insistence of the armed forces. This was met with protests. These protests caused the Red Cross to agree to accept blood from Black donors in January 1942, but they still kept the blood segregated by donor ethnicity. Drew frequently objected to this policy throughout World War II. He criticized the blood segregation policy, saying that on the battlefields, nobody is very interested in where the plasma comes from. Charles Drew had a knack for helping others, and this extended beyond his work in blood preservation and transportation. Since 1939, he had attended the annual free clinic at the Tuskegee Institute. Unfortunately, tragedy struck while he was driving to the 1950 Tuskegee Clinic. Drew was involved in a car accident, causing his death at the young age of 45. In recognition of his achievements, Charles Drew was honored in many ways. His house was designated by the National Park Service as a National Historic Landmark in 1976. He has a bridge named after him, the Charles Richard Drew Memorial Bridge in Washington, D.C., as well as a United States Navy dry cargo ship, the USNS Charles Drew, that began service in 2011. But perhaps the greatest validation of his excellence in healthcare and education comes from the many educational institutions bearing his name. Arguably the most well-known of them is the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science, a historically Black graduate school located in Willowbrook, California. While Charles Drew passed away at a regrettably young age, his great accomplishments and celebrated legacy live on to inspire new generations of medical professionals. So if you've been inspired by Charles Drew's story and achievements, you might be thinking how you can learn more about the exciting field of healthcare and medicine. Well, the LA County Library has got your back. We offer so many online learning platforms and courses to you through our online learning page at lacountylibrary.org/learn. All free with a valid LA County Library card. One of our most popular platforms is LinkedIn Learning, which offers unlimited access to courses on popular topics such as exploring top entry-level jobs in healthcare, and also specific topics within the industry such as the data science of healthcare, medicine, and public health. The courses within LinkedIn Learning consist of modules with video lectures that can be completed in any order. Another popular platform is Gale Courses, which offers a different class format than LinkedIn Learning. The main difference is these online classes require enrollment and operate on fixed schedules. Students can submit assignments, receive feedback from instructors, and interact with their instructor and fellow students on message boards. The healthcare and medical classes cover a wide variety of topics, including human anatomy and physiology, medical coding, and different careers in the healthcare field. The final platform I want to introduce is Universal Class. The course features combine both LinkedIn Learning and Gale Courses' strengths, in that they are self-paced courses, but also include assessments of progress with actual grades and feedback. There are also a variety of courses such as Healthcare Code and Conduct, Biology and Microbiology, and Medical Terminology. For more cool STEAM learning materials, be sure to check out our catalog at lacountylibrary.org. This concludes our video. Until next time, thanks for watching.